how to differentiate between food intolerances and food allergies. Thank you so much for joining me today here on Sheffield Sports Medicine's page. And yeah, we get this question a lot because a lot of people are going, oh yeah, I need an allergy test, I need an intolerance test, but they're not really sure what they are or even the differences between intolerances and allergies. So I'm going to give you that clarity today, so you have a good education and you have a good understanding of the difference between both, and also more importantly, what can you do about them as well. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Dr. Michael Lee. I'm a pain performance consultant here at Sheffield Sports Medicine. I'm just here to help every one of you, educate you, but most importantly, make sure you take the right next step, right, in terms of improving your health so you can have more happiness in your life as well. So let's talk about food intolerances first. So food intolerances, quite simply, is you consume something and there's a reaction, right? But the question is, what is the reaction? Is it an intolerance reaction or is it an allergy? So an intolerance, it brings on symptoms like bloating, low energy, lethargy, constipation, diarrhea, headaches, migraines, reflux, even back pain. So if you're getting symptoms like that within 2 hours of eating, it's related to something you've consumed because your body has actually reacted to that substance. It could be a drink, by the way, as well, and it's reacted to it, and that's why those symptoms occur. When you get those symptoms, they are actually major intolerances. And what I mean by major intolerances, because you have major and minors. Minors, you can actually have a certain amount, but the more you have of it, then it becomes a major. Majors have got nothing to do with quantity. As soon as you have it, there's a reaction because it's your personal toxin. These are the foods that do not agree with you. And that's where the brain needs to then protect itself. Okay, it's going to metabolize it real quick. This is why people feel so tired after eating a major intolerance, because the energy has gone to the food to metabolize it to get rid of the toxins. That's why everyone feels I need a nap after eating, right? So yes, some people get mistaken with, oh, surely it's because they've had too many carbs. It's a carb coma, or too much sugar. So actually the insulin's being dumped into the system. So that actually they got low blood sugar. That's why they're getting tired. Yeah, that could be the case. But the thing is, it should only last about 10 minutes. Most people that are in lethargic, they're lethargic for quite some time, over half an hour. And that's because of this reaction. So if you're getting those symptoms, you have a food intolerance, because we get it so often. We have like ladies that come in. It's usually, and I shouldn't laugh, but the thing is that I laugh because we see so many of it. Really, it's not because I laugh at the ladies. I laugh because we see so much of it. Because I always hear the same thing. It's like, Michael, sometimes I feel I look like I'm 9 months pregnant. People ask me if I'm pregnant. I'm like, yeah, you're not pregnant. It's just got bloating, right? He says, yeah. And then, of course, then we need to actually quickly assess the abdomen. I'm like, yeah, it's really high pressure. The good news is this is gas. This is high pressure in gas within you. We call it intra-abdominally. There is high pressure. But the good news is that it's not body fat. And that's where they start to sigh and think, oh, that's good. It's just gas. So all you need to do is find out what is the food that's creating this reaction where you're producing a lot of gas. And as soon as you know what it is, we then find out, we can eliminate it, but also we can change the neurology and how we can actually change the reaction. So actually, you don't get lethargic. You don't feel tired. You don't get headaches. You don't get migraines, because we can find out why the brain is actually creating this reaction as well. So that's intolerances. So if you're learning a lot so far, just put a yes in the chat, because this is where you get a better understanding of what food intolerances are. But the thing is that a lot of people, they struggle with this for many, many years, right? And they just don't know what it is. They say, oh yeah, me getting really bloated is something that happens to me all the time, and they think it's normal. It's not normal, because you kind of, and I'm going to ask this question, how many of you sometimes see, like you see someone, they're like eating like McDonald's all the time, or they're eating bad food, and they're like stick thin, and they always look like they're not even overweight, and then you're thinking, I just need to look at that food and it looks like I'm putting on weight. But actually, it's just because people have different tolerances. What you can consume is very different to what I consume. And because what I consume is different to someone else, because our DNA is different, right? In terms of how how food reacts to us is different because we have a slightly different genetic makeup. So we need to make sure because this is what I always say to people when they say, oh yeah, but I have a really good diet, Michael, I eat a lot of vegetables and fruit. I'm saying, that's fine, eat more vegetable and fruit. However, some people have intolerances to fruit and vegetables. And that's why you could be getting sure that they can take back control of their lives and do what's right for their bodies too. All right, let me move on to food allergies. Food allergies. So you think, what are food allergies? Allergies, now again, this is an immuno response. So I'm going to give you examples of food allergy. How have you heard of peanut allergy? Right? We see someone have a peanut allergy, everything swells up. Right? We see someone have hay fever problem when they inhaled something, then they start having hives. Or if they consume a food allergy, they start getting hives around their body. And basically what's happening is there's a histamine response. And we will call it a histamine response. Right? The body immune system is actually there to protect itself against this thing that's consumed. Okay, so an allergy is actually a lot more serious than an intolerance. Because intolerance, yeah, you might feel off color, you might feel low energy, you might feel bloated, but an allergy, if it's a serious one, it could potentially kill the person. This is when we look at the people who've got peanut allergies. If they're suddenly exposed to peanut, their whole face swells up, they need to have an intramuscular injection of adrenaline to then calm that down. And this is why allergies are really, really serious. And to test those, you would know that probably from your family history first. But if you want it tested, you need a very specialist equipment that you can find in the hospitals or even private hospitals, that then they will find out. They call it the IgE. When they do blood tests, they'll give you a small amount of something. They'll have adrenaline at hand just in case. Then they'll see your IgE response, so it's your histamine response, your immuno response. And if it reacts very high, they say, yeah, you got to stay away from this, or you have to carry an EpiPen with everywhere you go. And some people don't want to carry an EpiPen, so they just stay away from those things. But one of the things that we always look at here is when we look at allergies, of course, is one of the questions we always ask is, if someone does have those symptoms, right, were they born with it? If they're born with it, we cannot change it. That's just part of their genetic makeup. But if it started at a certain time in their life, then actually there's a chance we can actually change how the body responds to it, because usually we need to ask, why did it change? At some point they could consume that thing, but now they have a reaction. Now we need to find out, why has something changed? Why is the brain protecting itself? And this is where we call it's probably an autoimmune problem. So it's actually a dysfunction, a neurological dysfunction that the brain's actually creating here. And yeah, we go and test these in clinic. So if you are one of those people that you think, actually, I wasn't born with this. After this time in my life, this is when it got worse, then yeah, we're more than happy to help you. Just give us a call or send us a message, or even if you know someone that may be struggling with that want to improve their health, just let us know as well. So I hope that you've learned a lot today about intolerances and allergies, the big differences, but also depending if you were born with it or not, that determines if we can do something about it. And if you are struggling with those things, just let us know. We're happy to help you, and send us a message here on whatever platform you're on, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Send us a message. We're happy to help you, and we're happy to answer any of your questions, just to give you the clarity, because we do have a lot of patients that say, I really want this, and we ask them, so what are your symptoms? Because we need to double check it's the right test as well. So there are a lot of, I know there are a lot of companies out there that you can choose from, but ultimately, like I say, we've tried them all. And the ones that we trust are the ones that we use with the athletes and the Olympians, so that they can consistently operate at their best. So I want to thank every one of you for joining me today on Thursday here in the UK. And yes, I will see you again next week. So if you have any other questions, just put them in the comments. We reply to all of them. And I wish every one of you a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.